go.
Hello, Year 13. Hope you've all had a good summer. And in case you hadn't realised, this week is, of course, Results Week. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going to happen on Results Day. I'm going to talk about clearing and various other things as well. First of all, Results Day is on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So do not turn up before 8 o'clock because we cannot release your results before 8 o'clock. However, make sure that you turn up before about 10:30 because then we'll be packing up shop and going home and you then won't be able to pick up your results. Also remember that if you have suddenly realised you can't make it on Thursday, then you need to make sure that you have emailed the exams officer to let him know that you won't be there and to let him know who will be picking up the results on your behalf. And remember, that person who picks up your results needs to turn up with photo ID, and you already need to have told the exams officer your permission for them to pick up your results. Now, when you pick up your results, you need to, first of all, think about whether you want a remark. Okay, so if your result is within about 2 marks of the next grade boundary, it may well be worth you getting a remark. On Thursday, subject leaders should be there, so you'll be able to ask them how close you were to the grade boundary. They will then be able to tell you. Now, like financial products, your grade could go up, but it could also go down. Now, it's unlikely to go down if you're 2 marks below the next grade boundary, but if you're like 10 marks below, then that is much more risky. Okay, so you need to consider that carefully. And when it comes to a remark, you do have to pay for it. If your result then lands up going up, you get the money back, but if it stays the same or goes down, you do not get that money back. Now, the other thing that you need to do is you need to opt for priority remarking. Don't go for the budget version, okay, because priority remarking means that it gets done quickly. So if your university or apprenticeship place is resting on your results, then make sure you go for the priority. Slightly more expensive, but it will be much quicker for you than if you just do the budget version. Okay, so that's about results. If you don't come on Thursday and nobody turns up to pick up your results, then they won't be posted home this year. What will happen is that you will then have to come next week on GCSE results day in order to pick them up. And if you don't make it on GCSE results day, then you'll have to come once term begins. Okay, so that's basically what's going to happen on results day. If you are applying to uni, then you need to stick with this. Or if you're thinking, maybe I will now apply for uni, then stick in on this. But if you're not applying to uni and you have no intention of doing that, then I will say bye-bye and I will see you on Thursday. So those of you who are applying to uni, one of 4 things will happen on Thursday. Before that, though, you need to be aware of a choice you've got to make. So at 8 o'clock, we will open and you can then come in and get your results. But also UCAS Track will open at 8 o'clock. So you could choose to go onto UCAS Track first in order to find out if the university has accepted your offer or not. And there are various advantages and disadvantages of doing either. So if you go onto UCAS Track, you may look there and go, oh, I've got into my firm, great, I must have got great results. And then you might open up your envelope and find out, oh, actually, I didn't do quite as well, but they accepted me anyway. The other way, of course, is that you actually open up your envelope first, and then you might be slightly disappointed, oh, I haven't got the results, think you haven't got into your uni, and then go onto UCAS Track, and hey, you might find out you got in there. Happy days. So completely up to you in terms of what you want to do. You just need to be aware that at 8 o'clock UCAS Track will be really busy, and often the site goes down, and therefore it's not the safest option. But, completely up to you in terms of what you do. Now, what you will find when you go onto UCAS Track is that one of 4 things will have happened. Number 1, you've been accepted by your firm, and hopefully that is happy days, and you can then go, great, I'm going to my firm. But you might have decided and changed your mind over the summer and gone, actually, I don't think I want to go to my firm anymore. Or you might have done really well in your A-levels, better than you were expecting, and you might go, oh, actually, hang on, I fancy trying somewhere else. So keep listening for what you need to do. Secondly, you might have got into your insurance. And hopefully that is happy days as well. But again, you might have just put down your insurance because you couldn't think of anything else to do and you got no intention of going there. Okay. Again, keep listening because I'll tell you what you can do in terms of that. The other thing that might happen is that you might be given an alternative course. Now, remember George, okay? So I did talk about George. George applied for business studies at Nottingham Trent. He was then offered an alternative course, and George didn't bother to look to see what that course was. He just thought, hey, I'm going to Nottingham Trent, great. He turned up on the first day, turned up to the lecture and realised that he was now on a plastering course, and therefore decided, I don't want to do plastering. So just make sure that if you are offered an alternative course, it's something that you want to do. The fourth thing that might happen is that you land up going straight into clearing. And so clearing is what I want to talk about now. Those of you who got firm insurance and are thinking of changing your mind, keep listening, okay? So clearing. Clearing is currently open, so you can go onto the UCAS website now and you can find out all the choices that are available. All you need to go is you go into course search and then you just need to choose the year 26, 27 and then click on the box where it says courses open for clearing. And you can then scroll through that and see all of the courses that are available for you in clearing. Now, if you think there is a danger that you might be in clearing, or if you think you might put yourself into clearing because you don't want to go to your firm or in your insurance, then what I strongly recommend you do in the next couple of days is you go onto the website and you look for courses which you think are of interest. Now, most of the clearing courses are already in clearing, okay? So not much is going to change over the next few days because universities got your results a week ago, well, less than a week ago, and they've already made their decisions. So there will be some changes between now and Thursday, but not many. And therefore, what I strongly suggest you do is you look through the courses that you think might be of interest. And then you can do something really exciting and create a spreadsheet. And on the spreadsheet, you want to do three things, okay? And this is important. You want to put down the university that you are interested in applying to, the course code, and then thirdly, the telephone number of the admissions office, okay? So the university, the course code, and the admissions telephone number, okay? Create a spreadsheet, and then on results day, if you find yourself in clearing, it's then a really simple process because you just open up your spreadsheet and go, right, I'm going to apply to Birmingham and the course code is 3076 and the telephone number is such and such, okay? The worst thing about results day is people who find themselves in clearing and they haven't got a Scooby-Doo as to where they want to go, what they want to do, okay? And there's a big disadvantage of that, which I'll talk about in a moment, okay? So it is really worth you looking at those courses in clearing now. Right, now, when it then comes to results day, okay, 8 o'clock, you then really want to get onto the universities straight away to phone them up, okay? Now, remembering those people who have got your firm and your insurance, okay? If you decide that you no longer want to go to your firm and your insurance, okay, you can enter clearing. And in UCAS Track, you will see that there is a button called Decline My Place. And if you press that button, it will then enter you into clearing. Now, two important things to say. Firstly, you don't have to press that button in order for you to phone up universities and find out if they'll offer you a place. And secondly, once you have declined your place, that is it, okay? So it's like a divorce, okay? You can't turn round to your husband or wife and go, I want to divorce you, go through the divorce proceedings, and then 20 minutes later go, oh, actually, you know what, I've changed my mind. You've then got to go through the whole thing again. You've got to propose to them again. You've got to get married again, and so on, okay? So if you decline your place, it is final. You will have to go through the whole process again if you change your mind. It will give you lots of warnings. Are you sure you want to do this? Are you really sure you want to do this? Before you actually decline your place, okay? So I personally would not decline your place until you have phoned the unis, okay? So for everybody now who are in clearing, whether you've chosen it or you are in clearing, you then phone the unis. You can phone them from 8 o'clock onwards, okay? And they will ask you two things. They will ask you for your UCAS number, and they will also ask you for your clearing number. Now, those of you who are in clearing will have a number. Those of you who haven't declined your place won't have a clearing number, but that doesn't matter. You just need to say to them, I'm not actually in clearing yet, okay? And you phone them up and you say, these are the grades that I got. Would you be willing to offer me a place on this course? And they will then give you a verbal offer, or they'll say no. So if they give you a verbal offer, it will be time bound. So you need to turn around to them and go, how long do I have to respond to this offer? A week, 2 weeks, a month, or whatever, okay? And then you can then phone up as many universities as you like, and you can have as many verbal offers as you like. So you can have 10 different verbal offers. And then you need to decide which of those you want to put down as your actual choice, and you can only put down one, okay? So it's only one choice that you can put into clearing. Now, the reason I tell you to do the spreadsheet is because you want to avoid peak time for phoning the universities, because the number of students who will be going through clearing will be around about 50,000 students. And peak time is between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock on results day, at which point there will be 49,999 other students phoning at this point, okay? So please make sure that you try to avoid between 10 and 11. If you've got your spreadsheet, start phoning at 8:30. That's the ideal time. Okay, now the other thing to say is that once you've got verbal offers and you then put the actual choice into clearing, you cannot do that until 1 o'clock on results day. Okay, so you cannot actually put in your choice until 1 o'clock on results day. And you can put in your choice anytime you like. So if it's time bound and they've said you've got 3 weeks, you don't have to put it in at 1 o'clock. You've got 2 weeks, 3 weeks to put it into clearing, but obviously you're going to want to get it in there as quickly as possible. Now, the other conversation you're going to want to have with the unis is about accommodation, and is accommodation available on site for this particular university? So it's worth having that conversation when you're in clearing as well. And that basically is clearing. The stress of clearing is not knowing what you do. So now is the time to plan for clearing. I will be in my office during the morning, so come and speak to me if you've got any questions about clearing, and if you're unsure about what to do and you need advice, then come and speak to me. Come and speak to me if you've done really well and you're not in clearing, and I can help you in terms of that. And that basically is the whole process. There is one other thing which I meant to say at the beginning of this video, and this is about retaking year 13. So you will be aware that students in the past have retaken year 13. Now, the government has announced in the middle of June that they are changing the funding requirements, and they are therefore no longer funding year 13 students retaking year 13. So although that option has been available in the past, I'm afraid that if you haven't got the grades that you really wanted and you're wanting to retake the year, that is no longer going to be an option, because we are no longer funded for that. I'm sorry if that is bad news for you on results day, but hey, that's the government. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. Do come in and say hello and goodbye. And hope you all have a great day on Thursday and get the results that you want. Thank you and goodbye.